This is episode 2 of the Everybody's Got a Podcast podcast. Living up to its name, I guess. So last episode I talked about my friends and I talked about different things that they collected and stuff that I collected myself. For example, I talked about my sneakers. And if you're wondering, I am wearing the Yeezys, of course. It's inside, you know, whatever, doesn't matter. I can do what I want. Um, anyways, it's quite warm today, actually. 2 Celsius. Um, in a time where it's been, I don't know, minus 25 before, not just like a month ago, it was minus 25. But today's +2, which is great. It was +4 or 5 the other day, sunny. It was crazy in St. Petersburg, Russia. But today it rained, um, and I think tomorrow it's going to be similar weather. Doesn't matter. Well, it kind of matters actually, because what I wanted to talk about today was actually just what it's like living in St. Petersburg. And this is from the viewpoint of an American who's been here for about 3 years. And I don't live per se in the city. I live outside of the city. So this is going to be a bit of a different perspective. Okay, so the suburb I live in is it's not small. But it's not huge. It's got like 100 and so thousand people. And it's plenty of public transport, plenty of shops, everything that you would kind of need to live your average, suburban lifestyle. Which I do. I prefer that over the big city. I'm not a big hustle bustle, going to the bars on the weekend type of person. So I think that's kind of what I'll start with. So there's several mini markets around here. There's Dixie, there's Pitorichka, there's Magnet, there's other, little smaller ones that aren't really chains or anything like that. Um, I usually go to Pitorichka. There's one near my flat, and it's pretty good actually. It's not. I mean, I used to live in Florida where we had Publix and things like that. Publix is to me is the gold standard of supermarkets. I know there's going to be other people saying that, oh, mine's better in whatever part of the world. That's okay, right? You can think what you want. I love Publix, and that's what I'm comparing this to. Um, it's got a lot of things. The fruit and vegetable in the winter aren't so great. In the summer, it's decently all right. One thing I notice here is that you'll find a lot more um, wilted vegetables. I wouldn't say rotted vegetables, but very soft vegetables. I wouldn't. It's not the standard you'd find in America. Same with the meat. The meat can be questionable, but to be honest, I buy chicken breasts all the time, and I've never had any problems with it. Same with cucumbers. I would say I don't know, 1 out of every 20 times I can't find the cucumber I like. So, but for other things, red peppers are questionable. Tomatoes, eh. Potatoes, never. You can always get good potatoes. But again, maybe that's something people expect. And I would say the biggest thing that's lacking, and a lot of people will agree with me here, and that's cheese. Now, especially at Publix, you can get many cheeses. You can, if you need a cheese, you could probably get it there or somewhere else. Here, you're very limited. You have like Gouda, you've got what else? You've got Russian. It's called just Russian. Uh, Dutch cheese, Edam, Mazdam, uh, Tilister, I think it's called. I don't know. I don't buy it. And sometimes you can buy Parmesan. I get that for pastas and things. But mostly I just stick to Gouda because of the ones I can find there, that's kind of the only one I really like. You can get like craft singles type things. I forget the brand of it, but it's pretty funny because it just says burger cheese. But I mean, it tastes like a craft single. Um, what else there? So the bread is surprisingly. I wouldn't actually not even surprisingly. It's just better. Like, and I know Americans really lacking in bread. Like you go to Walmart, or you go to Publix, and you buy like the $1.89 loaf there, and it's just gonna taste like garbage. It's gonna taste like, for some reason, sweet, dry garbage. Here you can go, I pay, I don't know. The one I usually get's like 39 rubles, which is, I don't know, 60 cents, half a loaf. And you get, oh, it's so good. You just eat it. Honestly, you just want to open the bag and just eat it like a squirrel or something. um, But as far as food goes at the supermarkets here, you can get a lot of things. And like if I need special things, I can go to the city. I've been to this vegetarian store called Juggernaut in the city. I think it's called that. But anyways, it's good. You get soy stuff there. You get protein powders and beans and things like that, and it's all generally pretty good. Generally wonderful. I'm doing great with English. I've already forgot it. What else is there? Sausages. Now, that's something that it's odd. It's not worse. It's not better. It's just different. You get a lot of like the dried, like the sausages you'd find in like Italy, maybe I guess. You get a lot of those. Um, Now one thing I really missed was like breakfast sausage you get in America. You can't get that here. Maybe you can elsewhere, but I haven't found it. What else? So the vegetarian store is great because you get. I know just transitioning from vegetarian to sausage. No, but the vegetarian store is great. I'm not vegetarian, as I said. I eat chicken breast all the time, but I like it because you can get all these Indian spices there, and you can get all these cool vegetarian substitutes, which are great because well, I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get fit, and all that fun stuff. So I stop there when I can. They also have places called Azbukovkusa, I think that should be the name. And it's basically like a Whole Foods. It's great. You go there, they've got high quality stuff, imported stuff, cool specialty things. Um, I love going there. It's enjoyable to go there, which is saying a lot because a lot of places like my local, well, Petorijka's good. Local Dixie's a bit questionable because sometimes the people there are kind of rude. Magneet, I would say 50% of the time, they're a little bit rude. But any store I found is yeah, a little rude. Quick story, I guess. I was at a local store and I went up to the lady and I wanted some razors. And before I could even say anything, she just goes, "This till's closed. Go to another one." Kind of just like that. And I was like, "But I just need some." She's like, "Go to the other till." All right, whatever, fine, I'll go. And but there were no razors over there, so I couldn't get my razors. I had to wait. It's not it's not the end of the world. It's like the point is not the razors. It's just the rudeness, which is something. I mean, you'd never find that. I mean, you might find it in America, maybe. I've never personally encountered something that rude from a store worker in America, but possibly. Um, so that is a bit of a culture shock in that sense. Um, but overall, I'd say you can get pretty much anything you need from a supermarket. Like, there's nothing. There are a few things that are to be desired. For example, there's a pretty small selection in things. Like, you can get anything you want in the sense of traditional, normal stuff. Like, if I were to go to the store and I was looking for, I don't know, some sort of special mango teriyaki sauce, you couldn't find that. If I wanted to go get some out of season fruits or vegetables, you couldn't find it. But anything you need that's pretty standard, you can get no problem for a good price. Actually, I save a lot of money as compared to America, as you would expect. Now, some things are a bit different. I'll talk about those in a bit. Say that my average grocery shopping for the week, I probably spend around $65. And it's like on my salary, that's no problem at all. That's very very doable. Um, Less. I mean, I am on kind of a special diet at the moment. I'm eating a lot of protein, a lot of vegetables, a lot of pasta is like the easiest thing and the cheapest thing. You can get like a kilo of pasta for I don't know $1. You can get like a kilo of rice for less than $1 probably. Um, and potatoes and and corn and carrots and stuff. I like them, but I don't really eat. Now I've been eating a lot of almonds, which are very expensive here. Chicken breast, which is not expensive, but it costs some money. And I eat a lot of broccoli, cucumbers, things like that. Things that aren't, they're not expensive, but they're more expensive than eating pasta and hot dogs and stuff like that. Which, a quick aside, that's one of my favorite things. When I came to Russia and I found out that hot dogs are considered a type of sausage here, where I know in a lot of places, probably most places, hot dogs are a type of sausage, but like I feel like in America we have like this standard for sausages, and hot dogs hot dogs are hot dogs, sausages are sausages, right? Yeah, kielbasa, a frankfurter, those are sausages. A hot dog is like, I mean, we all know that that's not the same thing. um, but go to restaurants though. So now I've lived, I would say 99.9% of my time in Russia has been in Saint Petersburg or the surrounding areas. I was in Novichokrosk and Rostov about, I guess, 4 years ago now. Um, and it's a bit different there. But I'm, like I said, I'm just going to be talking about what it's like in St. Petersburg because that's where I live, and that's all. That's the I don't want to give a perspective that I can't reasonably give or give well enough. So the restaurant scene here is actually pretty good. It's not like America. I mean, like you can get burritos, you can get hamburgers and tacos and pizza and sushi and Indian food and Chinese food. What else is there? Canadian food? Is that a thing? It's probably just eat maple syrup or something like that. No offense, Canada. No, I love Canada. Um, but I mean, there's plenty of Irish pubs, British pubs. You can get really like if you want something, there's ramen shops. If you want something, you can probably find a restaurant with it. Now, one thing I do prefer about America is that if you go to like a taco shop or burrito shop, you're gonna get a really good quality food, right? Well, not always, but usually. I mean, if you just hit up the Chipotle or Moe's or something like that, or what's the other one? Qdoba. I don't know if I've ever. I think I've been there once. Um, but I mean, you're gonna get pretty good food. Here, it's hit or miss. I want to say, sadly. I would say, to be honest, the hamburgers are more hit than miss. Um, Now, some of them, there's a place in the city near me where I live. I'm not going to name any names. I don't really dox myself too much, but there is a place near me that it's more expensive than it is worth it. Like if I made the hamburger at home and I ate it, I would go, "That's a pretty good hamburger." But the price they want you to pay for it is not enough to make me want to get out of the house and go get it. So I typically avoid that place. There's a fast food place. I'm not gonna name it, but there's a fast food place here. It's not a traditional fast food restaurant. It's pretty local actually. It's very strange actually, but it's very local and it's pretty good. It's honestly it's as good. It's better than McDonald's, better than Burger King. Um, they don't have Taco Bell here, which is a massive disappointment, right? Taco Bell is just it's the gold standard of I mean if Publix is the gold standard for me of supermarkets, Taco Bell is the gold standard of fast food. It's cheap, it's filling, it's delicious. I love it. It's honestly but I mean like so to go back on tacos, just because I love tacos so much, there's a place I love to go to in the city called San Diego and it's got I honestly like I'm not upset with the tacos and burritos there at all. I love going there. Now, if I got it in America, would I be upset? No. Would I be happy? Not overly. But if I made it at home, I would be yeah, I'd be thrilled. So, it's not bad. It's not bad. The restaurant scene here is not bad. Um Now, one of the best restaurants, in my opinion, are like the pelmeni shops. If you don't know what pelmeni are, there's the small little dumplings with usually meat on the inside. You can get potatoes, maybe. They might be called something else, but they're pretty good. what I really like is hinkali, which are they're like pelmeni, but much bigger. Like, if you've seen the Chinese dumplings, where it's like dumpling pasta on the outside plus meat, vegetable, herbs all mixed together on the inside. It's basically like that. It's a Georgian food, and it's really good. So I love, whenever I go to the city, I tend to either go to the taco places or the pelmeni places, just because, I mean, it takes me an hour to get into the city. Might as well get something I want. But I like to try other places though. So I guess that's kind of the rundown of food in St. Petersburg. Um, what else is there? Sushi. Sushi is extremely popular in St. Petersburg. So sushi is kind of like, it is fast food here. You can get it ordered, you can deliver it. You can get it wherever you want. It's cheap. It's everybody loves it. You get these massive sets. Um, I'm not a huge fan of sushi. I'm the kind of person that, like, I'll never go get sushi by myself, but if somebody else wants to go get sushi, I'll join them, and I'll have no qualms. So it's not my favorite thing. So if you're looking for like strong recommendations on sushi and things, like, I can't give the best. I like Tokyo City. In the city, it's pretty good. I mean, they got good drinks. They got good. Well, for me, sushi. I like it. Um, but that's really all I know about it. There's different places. You've Razia, which is like, I don't want to say the bottom of the barrel, because that does it a bit of an injustice. It's good. It's decent food. But it's the cheapest one, I think. Maybe the delivered ones are cheaper, but it's the cheapest sit down one you'll go to. Um, but I mean, people here love sushi. It's like the big thing. Like, the way people order pizzas for delivery in America is kind of the way people order sushi here. It's always just like gather around your friends, party time, order, massive amounts of sushi. I don't particularly want it, but a lot of people might. Um, so I wish I could talk a little bit more about sushi, and I wish, as I talked about in the collections episode, my friend Tyler lives in Japan. He could probably give me a much better rundown of what's good sushi and what's not good sushi, because I've actually never eaten sushi in America, just because. I mean, I guess that was the biggest thing here, because like sushi being fast food here is odd to me, because, like, in America, if you want sushi, it's generally going to run you, I would say, more than $10 for whatever you're going to get. Right? I mean, I know a lot of people are lucky to make it out under $20. Um, so the fact that you could just order $5 worth of sushi and get enough to feed yourself for the night here and have it delivered is odd to me. I mean, I guess it's really just odd, because in America, $5 sushi delivered would be very, very questionable. I mean, that's like gas station sushi. Um, you'd be, yeah, you'd probably want to go to doctor after that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, like, living in, because I went to university in Orlando, UCF, National World Champions, whatever. Right, you could beat the Patriots. um, but I just remember in Orlando, all the sushi places were quite expensive, because people wouldn't want to go there. I would go with them. I wouldn't really get anything because I didn't really like sushi. I don't really like. I mean, I like fish ish. Well, no, I can't say I like. I mean, I'm not against fish, but like, I just remember sushi being rather expensive, and seeing people get it here for cheap is blows my mind. But I mean, I've seen it in other countries too. Um, so I guess to compare the food scene here, I would say it's more similar to the UK. I don't. I mean, I've only got my whole experience with the UK was 2 months living in Scotland. So I don't have the best basis for it, but I do have a couple friends there, and I see a lot of stuff on the internet. I mean, the world's so connected now, so you see stuff on the internet all the time. I would say it's more similar to UK than it is to America's fast food or food scene in general. America's got a lot of, you go there, sit down, type of restaurants. Where I would say here, a lot of the stuff feels more. I mean, no, I don't want to say that they don't have a lot of sit down restaurants because everywhere is sit down here. I don't know what to compare it to be honest. It's different. It feels different. Everything feels here a bit faster than in America. Like I feel in America they really want you to get in, sit down, spend a lot of money. Where here, I feel like they want you to get in, buy what you want, and leave when you're done. Or, I mean, but I don't know. The other thing is, one thing I do like about here with the restaurants is the fact that, like, I know in America, if you got a place with a server, if you start sitting too long, they're going to be trying to push you out the door. They're going to be, yeah, all right, you're taking up tips, you're taking up, table time. Where here, it's like you finish your food, and I'm the kind of person who likes to sit and wait. Not really wait, but just kind of let my food digest, settle down, be ready to go when I want to go. And I love the fact here that, once you finish your food, you can sit for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and nobody's going to come, hey, you guys ready to go? Here's your mints, here's your checks, please leave as fast as you can. Obviously, it's not that dramatic in America, but um, no, the one thing I do love about here with the food is that you do get to sit. Um, so it's a bit different than that. You don't feel as rushed as America, which I feel like is contradictory to what I said earlier. Hmm. I'll let you just honestly just listen to all that and form your own opinion. I'm not here to tell opinions. I'm just trying to give my experience with this. Um, so I mean, groceries. I guess another big difference here is that restaurants are not everyday things here. Like I know in America, it's very typical to go out to lunch for work, right? You have lunch break for an hour. You go out to lunch and you come back, and it's just kind of normal. I feel like here it's a bit more like you bring your lunch and you make stuff at home. Restaurants are more of like, you go there on the weekend or you go there for a special night out. Um, and it's not like America where you just kind of go to any old casual restaurant and sit down and get lunch like that. Which, I mean, is not bad. I mean, it's not bad. One thing I really enjoy the fact that I've been able to teach myself to cook a lot more. Back when I lived in America, I could cook a few things here and there, but here I've really kind of had my I don't know cooking abilities kind of explode because I've always had to just kind of cook. I can make a pizza from scratch, and that's not super hard, but making dough and stuff like that's not easy. I've got lots of great pastas, breads, vegetable bakes, and stuff like that. Yeah, you do a lot. Um, so the food, I don't know, the food in Saint Petersburg is just kind of it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. I've never been to Moscow, so I can't really compare. I know Moscow's got a lot more international things. They've got a Shake Shack there, which is crazy. Honestly, I've been thinking about taking a trip to Moscow just simply to go to Shake Shack. It probably won't happen, but I'm not ruling it out because it's a great idea. And I've never been to Moscow, so hey, go see Moscow, get some Shake Shack, cheeky little trip. Um, but I know Moscow's got a lot of great stuff. Uh, so I guess overall, if I had to sum everything up, like yeah, it's not terrible. Like living here, you're not missing out on food, a lot of food. You are missing out on a couple things. Like for example, it's hard for me to find black beans, lima beans. Lima beans, something I really miss. Um, oh, being able to buy chorizo at the store. I love chorizo. You can put chorizo in so many things. Um, you can get lentils here, which I use occasionally, but they're a little bit more expensive. Chickpeas, you can't buy like a canned version. You can only buy the dry ones, which is, I mean, they're useful, but sometimes you don't feel like soaking them and getting them prepared like that. You can just kind of want to just dump them out of a can. Um, so that's a bit annoying when you really want chickpeas for whatever you use chickpeas for. I just eat them to be honest. Um, there's a lot of things here I do like though. For example, the bread. I talked about the bread earlier, but one of my favorite things here, absolutely, is lavash. Like a fresh baked lavash. I never go to the supermarket to buy them. You have to go to like one of the little roadside bread things, and they're 35 rubles, which is like 50-ish cents, and you get this nice freshly baked bread that's just it's so fluffy and soft on the inside and crispy crunchy on the outside, and it's got this weird shape to it. It's like imagine like a frying pan, but you just kind of took the frying pan and then like made it like if you just split a frying pan down the middle and then copied that to the other side. There were sort of two handles on the inside, and then there's like a circle on the middle. um it's an odd shape, but it's so tasty, especially if you eat it with honey. I like to put peanut butter and honey on it. Oh, it's just to die for. Also, I've been told this is the cheating way to make a pizza, but people who say that never say that until after I've made them a pizza on a lavash. Then they understand why that's so good. It is absolutely not cheating. It's absolutely not cheating. Um, but I mean, that's just what I use it for. A lot of people use it for khachapuri and things like that. Um, but that's not what I use it for. Um, the restaurants though, going back to the restaurants, there's a lot of cool though. There's several Mexican restaurants in St. Petersburg which I like. There's a really good pizza place that I like here, which to be honest is better than a lot of places I've had in America. And I'm gonna be honest, I've had a couple places in New York. I think I had two or three, and this place was better than one of the places I had in New York City, of course. Um, Now the pizza overall though is kind of a black mark. That is to say, it's not good. The delivery pizza here is honestly worse than a frozen pizza you get in America. And the weird thing is, it's actually, in my opinion, worse quality than the frozen pizzas you get here. Um, like honestly, if you just get like a small frozen, like one of the like $1 frozen pizzas, and you just get some shredded cheese and put it on there, it's super good. Like I don't know why you'd want to order pizza when you can do that. I mean, I guess if you got a party, but most of the ordered like delivery pizzas here are not up to snuff, and that is very disappointing. Also, I guess to go on what I don't like is the just delivery in general here. You can get so many things delivered, but I'm gonna be honest, none of them are really that great. You can get like this delivery sushi, as I said earlier, delivery pizzas which aren't that good, delivery hamburgers which are lacking, um, delivery shawarma, which is I like shawarma, shawarma, I guess we'd call it in English. It's just kebabs really. It's kebabs without the lamb. You usually get like chicken, some beef, usually chicken, sometimes lamb. Um, but it's I mean it's all right. The delivery ones are pretty unhealthy for you. They're pretty bad for you, but they're not like if you eat one you'll be satisfied, but you won't be you know telling somebody. But you're not going to take a picture for Instagram, I guess. Um, but I don't know. The rest of it's pretty good. The restaurants, though, the restaurants are good. The restaurants are good. I mean, you can get Michelin star quality food. You can get great, wonderful takeaway stuff. You can get wonderful regular stuff. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the food in St. Petersburg if one, you know how to cook. Two, you know where to look. Those are kind of the two rules for finding good food, because you can get tricked into places. I've noticed here you can find places that look great. They have great decor, great atmosphere, but the food is just kind of lacking. You can also find places here which are very unassuming and the food's great. Um, I mean, the best hamburger I had was this place called Wave Burger. I haven't had it in years. Probably, I don't know, almost 3 years. 2.5 at least. I don't know why it's expensive. It's like $15 for everything, which is expensive for Russia. Um, but it's really good. A great juicy burger, great fries, great dipping sauces. Coca Cola's Coca Cola. You can't unless you go to McDonald's. You can't really get it much better than that. Um, but I mean, yeah. So if I had to break down my recommendations for food, like let's say you've listened to this and you're gonna come to Saint Petersburg, my recommendations for food. One, if you go out into Pushkin, Leo's Pizza. Leo's Pizza's great. I love it. That's the pizza I was talking about earlier. In the city, Pelmenia, very tasty. San Diego, the taco place, which is at New Holland Island. Pelmenia is also around the city. For sushi, I like Tokyo City. For hamburgers, I recommend Wave Burger. But if you can't find that because it's out of the way, there's a place called um, what is it called? Krasnodarski Podin or something like that. Maybe I don't remember if that's the name or if it's like the tag on it. Or if you're just walking around and you can't find anything, SB Burgers and BB and Burgers. Those are good. Um, and I guess that's really all my recommendations for food. I mean, there's other good places there. They're just not coming to my head at the moment. So that's really all there is about food in St. Petersburg. It's not bad. It's not great. Um, I wouldn't say it's like a shining point of the city, but it's nothing that you'll be dissatisfied about. Like you never really feel like I'm missing a whole lot. You get the cultural experience of everywhere, and it's good. Um, I would say obviously the things we get in America, more American specific burritos, um, New York style pizza you can't really find, obviously. You can some places, but New York style pizza, what else? And I don't know, that's really it. So I hope you liked this episode. It was about food and stuff in St. Petersburg, living in St. Petersburg. I figure I can do a couple more episodes. I've got plenty to say about living in St. Petersburg as an American. So I'll make more episodes about that, and I'll put them. I think I'm gonna honestly move this over to YouTube. I've got my first episode on SoundCloud, but I don't have a premium account, nor do I want to pay for a premium account. So I'm gonna try to put it on YouTube instead, and have it shared from there. Um, it's also much easier to share the link if I've got it on YouTube. So, I mean, if you like it and you're listening to this on YouTube, please give it a share. If you don't like it, send me a message. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me, Adam, you ramble too much. Adam, you tell too many stories. You go off topic too much. Let me know. I always want to get better at this. And thank you for listening. And I hope to see you for episode, well, I guess 3.